Jasmine Crockett's voice cut through the hearing room like a blade, calm but firm across the table. Jim Jordan shifted in his seat. His face tightened. The cameras zoomed in. For a man who prided himself on fiery speeches and aggressive questioning, this was supposed to be another chance to dominate. But instead, he sat frozen, unable to respond. And in that silence, Jasmine Crockett destroyed his argument. Not with anger, not with volume, but with one legal question he simply could not answer. The clash happened in a packed congressional hearing, one that millions would later see replayed across social media. The agenda was straightforward, a review of legal accountability and oversight, but like so many hearings, it quickly devolved into a battle of personalities. Jim Jordan, known for his sharp elbows and louder, then-life confrontations, came ready to attack. He interrupted, raised his voice, waved his papers in frustration. It was the style that had made him famous on cable news clips, controlled chaos that drowned out the details. But Jasmine Crockett was no stranger to chaos. A trained attorney and rising Democratic congresswoman, she had spent years mastering the law and even more years mastering patience. Where Jordan favored fire, she preferred precision. Where he used noise, she relied on facts, and on this day, the contrast couldn't have been clearer. From the start, Jordan tried to seize control. He demanded answers to questions that weren't even being asked, accused Crockett of dodging the truth, and turned the hearing into a performance for the cameras. But Crockett stayed calm, waiting for her opening. And when Jordan pressed too far, she leaned into the microphone and delivered the line that flipped the entire room. "Mr. Jordan, can you cite the statute that gives you the authority to make that claim?" It was simple. It was direct, and it was devastating. Jordan blinked. He shuffled his papers. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. Seconds stretched into silence, and the hearing room erupted. Not in laughter, not in chaos, but in an unmistakable realization. The man who always had something to say suddenly had nothing. Clips of the exchange flooded Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube within minutes. Hashtags like #Crockett Clapback and #Jordan Speechless trended instantly. Millions replayed the moment. Crockett calm, Jordan squirming, the silence louder than any shout. News anchors dissected it. Commentators called it one of the cleanest takedowns in recent congressional history, and even some of Jordan's allies admitted privately that he had been outmatched. For Crockett, the moment wasn't about humiliating her opponent. It was about reminding the country that leadership isn't about who yells the loudest. It's about who knows what they're talking about. Her legal training, her composure, her command of the facts, all of it came together in one perfectly timed question. And for Jim Jordan, the damage was undeniable. His reputation as a bulldog interrogator had been punctured, not by another shouting match, but by silence. By the fact that when pressed on the law, he had no answer. Because at the end of the day, politics is more than theater. It's about credibility. And in that hearing, Jasmine Crockett showed that credibility isn't measured in decibels. It's measured in facts. That single question didn't just end an argument. It created a moment that will be studied, replayed, and remembered. A reminder that the sharpest weapon in politics isn't always volume. Sometimes, it's clarity. If this showdown left you stunned, you're not alone. Millions saw Jim Jordan silenced by one simple legal question, and Jasmine Crockett proved that calm facts can overpower chaos. And this is just the beginning. On Beyond Truth, we uncover the moments the headlines miss, the stories behind the clashes, and the real battles shaping America's future. So if you want more than noise, if you want the truth beyond the drama, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the bell so you never miss the next revelation. Because here on Beyond Truth, we don't just report the story, we expose it.